I'm Mariele Neudecker. I'm originally German, but I studied and lived in Ireland and England since many, many years, and have spent a long time in London, but live in Bristol in the UK. I have 3 different projects, well, it's part of one bigger project, but I have one piece with rubbings of missiles called Psychopomp on the floor. They are life-size rubbings of formerly nuclear missile shells that are in a museum in San Francisco at the moment. Well, they are in the original missile site, which is now a museum, and I spent time there making work. Also behind me, the radar rubbing was taken there in the same site. My work has often made links and relationships to nature, landscape and technology. And when I went to the Headlands for my residency for 3 months, I started making work about the very foggy Headlands landscape, and very soon changed to focus onto the military missile site that was right next to my studio. I suppose what fascinated me the most was the human dimension to this technology that was there. There were veterans talking about their employment when it was a Cold War missile site for over 20 years in the 50s and 60s, 70s. And I got very, very interested in the relationship that we now have to that Cold War time and the available technologies that are there today, of course. I started filming and photographing a lot inside the subterranean missile storage, and soon found it too frustrating to only see the images in my laptop or on the camera in a way too small representation. So then moved on to make these life-size rubbings with graphite to bring a different dimension to a record or a document of these things. Well, in the context of the drones and the exhibition, it seems to make a lot of sense from what I understand to sort of go back also to that sort of time. It's an interesting mixture of looking at an archive of existing technology and looking at today's technology. And in order to sort of maybe bridge some of the gaps between conventional warfare and contemporary warfare, you can't ignore the sort of things like the kind of Cold War. And I can totally see that maybe to bring something to it that has a human touch or it's sort of different scale to it. We haven't really spoken about those 5 images. I think they probably also contribute quite well to the sort of sense of looking at the invisible and the unknown kind of technologies that are out there. And by using what I've done with those 5 images, it's kind of visibly deleting something and making it more visible in a way that, again, I'm very deliberately using a sort of slightly tactile mode of diffusing the image, not purposefully not doing it on Photoshop, but using Tipex and ink to kind of heighten the sense of the sort of tension of not knowing really what is going on. My motivation to kind of hide the image, but actually wanting to show the image more. Maybe the best word is well, it's a sort of slightly sinister thing to do, I think, which makes perfect sense in this exhibition, which in itself is very dark.